Herzog and Meuron Architekten. Herzog and Meuron is a Swiss architecture firm founded in Basel, Switzerland in 1978. The careers of the founder Jacques Herzog and Pierre de Meuron closely paralleled one to another, with both attending to Swiss Federal Institute of Technology (ETH) in Zurich. They are perhaps best known for their conversions of the giant bankside power station in London to the new home to the State Museum of Modern Art. Jacques Herzog and Pierre Meuron have been visiting professors at the Harvard University School since 1994 and professors at the ETH Zurich since 1999. Herzog and Meuron received international attention very early in their career with the Blue House in Oberwil, the Stone House in Tabol, Italy, and the apartment building along a party wall in Basel. In many projects, the architects have worked together with artists. An eminent example of that practice being in collaboration with Remy Sock, Thomas Roof, and Michael Craig Martin. Professionally, the Herzog and the Meuron partnership has grown to become an office with over 120 people worldwide. In addition, they have offices in London, Munich, and San Francisco. Herzog has explained, "We work in teams, but the teams are not permanent. We arrange them in new projects begin. All of the work results from discussion between Pierre and me. The work by various teams may involve many different talents to achieve the best results, which is a final product called architecture by Herzog and Meuron." In 2001, Herzog and Meuron were awarded by the Prescott Prize, the highest of the honors in architecture. In 2006, the New York Times magazine called them one of the most admired architecture firms in the world. Architecture of Herzog and Meuron has always been recognized for their high quality and high performances around the world. This happens because all of the characteristics of a building, they know how to lead them into a higher level. These characteristics can be shown very well in one of the most recognized buildings they have ever made. This is Meuron. Normally, there is a concept, an idea, that the architect must implement into the building. This idea carves and gives light to the building. The space, views, materials, and form must lead to the same idea. For example, Walker Art Center, Minneapolis, Minnesota, there is one main color, which is a deep silver that might hide into the sky. In Meuron there are two main colors. On the first floor there is a silver color, and on top of that there is a blue texture. There is a very strong contrast in between these two colors. That might be for a simple reason. The architect wanted to separate the first level from the others, making the upper levels floating from the floor. But why blue? That might be the reason for the main concept. The reason I can find is the building is trying to hide in between the skies. It has indeed a couple of cloud shapes on the facade. Another reason could be that it reflects the movement of the sea, a movement of waves, curves and arches. Even these holes look like some bubbles popping to the surface. Natural light in architecture is used to emphasize an important space. Normally, these spaces have special features in usage and dimensions. For example, the light that comes from Basel Convention Center New Hall. In his main hall, there is a stronger light that comes from the main hall. In Meuron, we can see light hits the entire building. A massive horizontal balloon floats above the floor, and little holes penetrate the building from floor to roof, making some light entrances and pointing at some important spaces. This is a very interesting way to use natural light. It is like having a big gloom space, and then at some points appear some spotlights pointing at the floor, making this space very dynamic. Introducing rhythm in architecture. This can be shown in many ways. Imagine having a straight line that goes from A to B. This defines one strong linear space, like an arrow. Now imagine dividing this line into parts by a third point C. You will have two lines, two different spaces. Doing this several times will make you have different spaces by the same time, and this is what architecture is trying to do, to separate, to divide, so creating a game of shadow and light in between spaces and making more dynamic the space itself. It is the art of repetition. In Meuron Blow we can find a very dynamic rhythm. The upper windows creates a rhythm with the floating blue balloon. We can see the windows in a vertical shape, creating a separation in between them and making a very fluid rhythm. Stairs can be the funniest or the most boring thing in a building. For example, in 11 Dance Center, there is a 3D black spiral that penetrates the second floor of the building, but in Meuron Blow there is not this case. There is a very large stair that comes from the second floor to the first floor, like a cascade. But taking away that, there is no other vertical accesses. Maybe because it is a museum and it only needs one access. But taking apart this, it is not impressive. Acoustics in this museum is very important. All noises coming from outside must not penetrate the building. It must reflect the sound waves from outside. This is achieved very well in Meuron Blow. The self-upper balloon that floats gives the noise from the first floor. Horizontal circulation, vertical circulation, rhythm, acoustics, color, light and texture, space and scale must be controlled by the architect. Herzog and Meuron list these schemes to the building very strongly. This is why these two pair of architects are one of the best architects of the world today.